Hi everyone, this video is going to be focused on the quantity theory of money. The quantity theory of money sounds really scary, but it's actually not too bad once you get the hang of it. The main thing to remember with the quantity theory of money is that it is basically just a bit of maths. Okay, so the quantity theory of money is an equation which says the following. It says if you take the money supply in the economy times the velocity of circulation, which I'm going to come back to in a minute, then that will be equal to the price level times the quantity of goods being produced in the economy, which is the same as real GDP. That's it. If one thing changes on one side, something has to change on the other side, just like any normal maths equation. If you can remember that, you're going to be well on your way. So just a reminder of what these things stand for. So M is the money supply. Okay, so this is simply the amount of money in people's bank accounts and people's wallets. Okay, simple as that. Now there's a limited amount of that floating around the economy, and it has to be used to buy goods and services. So then we have this thing called V, the velocity of circulation, which is a fantastic name, which again it can sound a bit scary. Ulation. Oh, can't spell circulation. Okay, it's very simply how many times each dollar goes around the economy in a year. Okay, now you think about that. You've got $1 in your wallet. You go and spend it at the local dairy. That dairy owner puts the money in their bank account, and maybe a few days later they go and spend that money. That becomes money in somebody else's account. They'll spend that dollar, and so on and so on. The money each dollar you spend is going to be used multiple times throughout the year. So that's where we get this idea of the velocity of circulation from. So basically, if we take all the money in the economy and how many times that money is used each year, during a year, that must equal the total amount of spending that's going on in the economy over that year. So we say that that is going to be equal to, if we take the price level, which is just as we've been talking about, just the average price level of goods and services in the economy, and the Q is the just stands for real GDP or national production, the amount of goods and services produced. National output we'll use the amount of goods and services produced in the economy in a year. Okay, now we'll just do a numerical example to show you how that works. Okay, so suppose we've got a very tiny economy in which we have a money supply of $100. Okay, that's all the notes and coins and money in anybody's accounts. And over the year, that money is spent on average about 10 times during the year. So the $100 is the money supply, the 10 is the velocity of circulation. So that means over the course of that year, people must have spent or bought $1,000 worth of goods. Okay, so that must be equal to the average price or to the price level. So let's say the average price is, I don't know, $5. Then that must mean that the quantity of goods and services in total being bought in the economy is 200. Okay, both sides are equal because the left hand side is 1,000 and the right hand side is 1,000. Okay, that's the starting point. If you can remember that, like I said, it's just a maths equation. So then what we say is, okay, what happens if something changes? And the first version of this is the crude quantity theory of money. What this assumes is that the velocity of circulation and the real GDP is constant and does not change. Unlikely, but that's the first assumption. So let's look at that. Okay, so we're assuming that V and Q, velocity of circulation and quantity, are fixed. Don't ask why. This is just this theory that people have come up with. So what happens if M increases? If you think about it, what must happen to this equation to make it still balance? Well, if M increases and velocity of circulation is the same and quantity is the same, then prices must increase. Okay, and that should make sense if you think about the examples we looked at of Germany and Zimbabwe. When lots of money was printed in those countries, prices went up. They call it too much money chasing too few goods. If the quantity of goods being produced doesn't increase, then prices are going to go up. Okay, so that's the crude quantity theory of money. In reality, we can use this equation to consider all sorts of variations. Okay, so again, just emphasizing the fact this is just a maths problem. So what if the velocity of circulation increases? Why would it do that? Well, if consumer confidence is increasing, and maybe the economy is doing better, we're in a recovery situation. If velocity of circulation increases, assuming the money supply stays the same, then either P or Q must increase. P or Q must increase. Okay, it's just maths. Okay, if V increases, P or Q must increase. So we can say if real GDP doesn't change, then prices are going to go up. And if you think about that, that might even make sense. So if the economy is really at the peak, booming along, people are spending lots of money, velocity of circulation is going up, but the economy isn't able to produce more goods and services to match that, then all that extra demand is going to push prices up. So that'll work. Okay, so we could say that. We could say, what if Q increases? Oh, there should be an if there, shouldn't there? Okay, what if Q increases? Well, okay, if Q increases, then we need either the money supply or velocity of circulation to increase. Okay, that, again, so M or V needs to increase. On the other side, to balance that. What if they don't? Okay, what if M or what if M or V do not change? Then the only thing that happens, then the prices must fall to balance the equation. Is that realistic? Don't know. Probably not really. But when you're answering questions around this quantity theory of money, stick to the formula. And stick whatever information you've got, that's all you need to worry about. So, could prices fall? Well, I suppose if lots and lots of goods and services are being produced and the money supply and velocity of circulation don't change, then there's going to be all these surplus goods, and in order to sell them, businesses might drop their prices. That's a possible explanation. So that's it for the quantity theory of money. I've said it before, I'm going to say it one more time. It's just maths. If one thing changes, something else has to change, usually on the other side of the equation, for things to balance.